Hi there. Hello. I'm glad you made it back to the Medicare videos. Today I'm going to be giving you a quick overview of the cost if you were to take out a Medicare supplement and standalone prescription drug plan with your Medicare, or if you were to take out a Medicare Advantage plan that has a Medicare drug plan in it with your Medicare card. First of all, what about that Medicare card? I can't see over it. Medicare Part A is generally given to you without a premium. The reason I say generally is the way a person gets premium-free Medicare Part A is they have worked and paid into the Medicare insurance tax for at least 40 full quarters. Now, there are some people that for whatever reason they didn't need a job or whatever that not paid into it. And so if you've not paid into the Medicare insurance tax, then Medicare Part A does come with a premium. Now there's also Medicare Part B. Medicare Part B is not covered on that Medicare insurance tax that most of us have paid through our working years. Medicare Part B, in order to get that, you need to be not only eligible for it, but also pay a premium. And the monthly premium for most of us is $185. Now, some of us have very low income, and we go and apply for assistance from the government, and the government agrees, yes, your income's very low, so what I'm going to do for you is I'll go ahead and subsidize your Medicare Part B premium. Others have a very high income, $88,000 as a single person or more, $176,000 as a married couple requiring paying taxes together, and more. And the reason I say and more is because it goes according to tiers, and several tiers. If you're at this tier, it's going to cost you this much, and then this much, and then this much. I'm not going to go into the exact numbers. But at any rate, just suffice to understand, first thing you're going to need to figure out is how much is it going to cost you for your Medicare. Now, some people look at that and they say, well, great. I make just a little bit too much to get assistance, so I'm not going to get my Medicare Part B subsidized. And so that means I'm going to pay $185 a month premium, and I genuinely can't afford anything more. If that's the case, let's talk about a Medicare Advantage plan. Medicare Advantage plans have very, very low premiums. Anywhere from, presently there are several nice little zero premium Medicare Advantage plans, and they go higher after that. So the zero Medicare Advantage plan, also known as Plan C. I'm catching my words here, trying to remember them all. Can you tell? So much, even for me. But at any rate, the Medicare Advantage plan, the way it got paid for is Medicare made a deal with the insurance companies, and they said, look, if you can write a plan that has all the Medicare benefits in it, and then maybe throw in a few extras. We'll call it a Medicare Advantage plan, or someone else says, no, let's call it a Medicare Plan C. You know how we like letters. So sometimes people refer to it as the Plan C, and sometimes people refer to it as a Medicare Advantage plan. And so remember, all those people paying into the Medicare insurance tax, and I'm sure you can't forget the Medicare premium that you no doubt are going to be paying. Well, that money, they take a big bucket, they say, now listen, we got this money sitting here, and for every one that you get to take your Medicare Advantage plan out, no, it's a Plan C. Yeah, okay, Plan C. Then we'll go ahead and give you this much money. And let's face it, the government has a lot on their hands, and they do really well at a lot of things. But they figure, the insurance company, they do this for a living, and they make money. And so surely they could have all that's in here plus do a few extras in order to compete. That way our Medicare recipients will get a little bit more out of their Medicare bang buck. How did I say that wrong? I did, didn't I? And we don't have to look like the bad guys that aren't giving them dental or hearing or whatever. Because as you know, in Medicare, there are certain things that are not covered. They don't do anything for your dental, for your eyes, or your hearing, unless it's disease of the eyes, ears, or mouth. And there's other things, of course. They don't do anything for experimental or plastic surgery or for acupuncture or acupressure. Now, that's where the Medicare Advantage plans step in. Of course, they're not going to do anything like plastic surgery. That's entirely too expensive. But they do throw in generally a prescription drug plan without any cost. And then they'll add little extras, like you've heard those commercials. Get a plan with dental and vision insurance and over-the-counter medications and stuff from like a pharmacy for free. And so they have all these extras built in. So it can be a little bit better than just plain old original Medicare. But why on earth would I say a little bit better? Basically, it's a little bit of dental, a little bit of vision, and not any one plan is going to have all the things they mentioned may possibly be on a Medicare Advantage plan. And so if you pay a little extra for your Medicare Part B premium, of course, you'll get a little bit more. But basically, the cost of this premium-wise is $0 and up. And if you look at Medicare.gov, you'll find plans that are like in their 20s, in their 30s, in their 50s, in their 80s, like that. And so, yeah, they go up a bit. And of course, the more you pay premium-wise, put together with what they're already being given by Medicare, would mean the richer the benefits you would have. And the less expensive the co-pays, deductibles, and co-insurance would be. For instance, a zero premium plan, maybe they'd say it's $35 to see your specialist. Maybe they'd say it's $300 a day for 5 or 6 days that you're in the hospital, and then after that, they'll cover the rest. Whereas with a plan that's more expensive, say a $30 a month plan, they'll say, well, instead of charging you $30, $35 to see a specialist, we'll only charge you $25 to see the specialist. And instead of paying $300 if you get admitted into the hospital each day for 5 or 6 days, we'll say it's only $200. And that's how it goes. That's what I wanted to point out. Yes, the premium is very low, but there are a lot of co-pays, deductibles, and co-insurance. When you first get into Medicare, you have a choice. You have, if you're turning 65 to get into Medicare, the 3 months before, the month of, and 3 months after, which are considered your initial enrollment period. And in that period of time, you get to choose. Do you want a Medicare Advantage plan with a prescription drug plan? Do you want to get a standalone prescription drug plan and just keep plain old original Medicare? Or do you want to get a Medicare supplement to supplement what Medicare's not covering? So you lay down your Medicare card first, and then the supplement is your secondary, and then get a standalone prescription drug plan as well. Well, that sounds like a lot of premiums, right? Well, yeah, it can be. Medicare supplements can run anywhere from like around the $80 mark to $150 when you first get into Medicare. And then with each year that goes on, you're going to have an increase. Every birthday, you're going to have an increase. Generally, they go up about 6% each year. Plus, once every, it varies, 3 to 6 years, an insurance company will take what they call a cost of living increase. So maybe it's your birthday month and you get a notice that it's going up $8. You're like, oh well, $8, I can manage that. And 2 months later, they do the same doggone thing. You're like, wait a minute, not my birthday. I just had that a couple months. It's the cost of living increase. And they do that every few years. So the Medicare supplements can become quite costly. So why on earth would someone pay for a Medicare supplement and a Medicare prescription plan and original Medicare when they could just pay for original Medicare and get all those benefits right here out of their Medicare Advantage plan? Because of all those co-pays, deductibles, and co-insurance that exist in Medicare. Plus, every year, that plan may change up a little bit. Yes, you're given the annual enrollment period, October 15th through December 7th, to look at what's coming up available next year. But what if you really like your plan and they mumbo jumbo and change it a lot? Then you really have to go searching for another plan that you're going to like. Generally, it's just a few little changes each year, and most people end up sticking with the same plan for some years. But with a Medicare supplement, it stays the same. So if you buy the G plan, which is the one that is available right now that gives the most coverage, what's going to happen is at the first time you go in to get something medical done, maybe it's an office visit or maybe it's an infusion or whatever, you're going to have to come up with the Plan B deductible. For 2025, that Plan B deductible is going to be $257. But after that, everything that this doesn't cover will be covered by your supplement. So we've done away with all those co-payments, deductibles, and co-insurance. Plus, a G plan is a G plan is a G plan. Now, if you got into Medicare before 2020, you could get an F plan. That's the plan that covers all what's left over after you've laid down your Medicare card. And that plan, even though it's not sold to someone that gets into Medicare this year, is a plan that all those that were in Medicare before 2020 are grandfathered into, and it will never change. An F plan is an F plan is an F plan. A G plan is a G plan is a G plan. N is an N is an N. It never changes. So for those two reasons, that's why people will pony up the extra premium after making a premium on their Medicare supplement. Add their Medicare card, and then they have the premium for their Medicare supplement, and then they'll go ahead and get a prescription drug plan too, because they know that plan's never going to change, and they don't have to deal with all those copays and deductibles. Now, like I said, the supplement goes up in price. And so what happens if 5-10 years from now you're thinking, oh my goodness, surely there's a company that's less expensive than this? Yes, you can go shopping for your Medicare supplement, but if you've not got that initial enrollment period or a guaranteed issue period, a guaranteed issue period is like if, say, you didn't get into Medicare when you first turned 65 because you didn't want to pay for the Medicare Part B premium. And you have a group coverage at work, so you don't need to pay for Medicare Part B. And then a couple years go by and you decide, well, I'm ready to retire. And when you retire, dag nabbit, those people at work didn't give you a prescription drug plan or a health plan or anything, so you have to go shopping. And so obviously the first thing you do is you go and get your Medicare Part B. And so for those people who have lost their medical coverage for no fault of their own, they get what's called a guaranteed issue. But if you don't have that initial period or something that gives you a guaranteed issue period, with Medicare supplements, they're going to ask you a lot of health questions. They don't ask you any health questions if you have a guaranteed issue time period or if you have your initial enrollment period. But otherwise, they ask a lot of health questions. And believe me, the list is as long as my arm. It's just everything you can imagine. Have you had cancer in the last couple of years? Have you had a stroke? Have you had a heart attack? How many times have you been in the hospital? Has it been more than 2 times or more than 3 times? Do you have diabetes with complications? Do you have Parkinson's? Do you have on and on and on? It's quite a list. And if you say yes to any of them, then the insurance company is going to give you a brief little letter that says something like, we appreciate your interest in ABC Company. However, at this time, due to underwriting purposes, we are not going to be able to write your policy. So there you have it. You're going to pay a monthly premium for your Medicare Part B, and then you can go shopping for your Medicare Advantage plan. The premium is very low, but there are a lot of co-pays and deductibles. Or you can pay for the Medicare Part B premium and a Medicare supplement, which, by the way, remember, goes up with your birthday each year, plus their cost of living increases. But that's the only change in the plan. And you're going to buy a prescription drug plan. Those are the expenses. Bunch is more to talk about, but for now, that's this video. Have a great day and happy Medicare shopping.